Urban trails have the potential to be vibrant community destinations and thoroughfares. Yet in many urban areas, crime and safety are serious issues. Studies by Rails to Trails Conservancy and others have shown that trails themselves do not generate crime, but trails are not immune to it either. Since trails are community focal points, incidents on a trail can generate a lot of attention, and concerns about safety, both real and perceived, can keep people away from the trail. These concerns should be addressed both before and after a trail is built, through design, outreach, policing, and programming. This film visits trails in 3 cities that addressed trail safety head-on and have succeeded in creating trails that are well-used community assets.
What came up really early on when we were talking to residents was, it's not going to be safe. Are we sure it's going to be safe? How do we keep it safe? What we did is, of course, look at other cities and find out other experiences, and learned right away that trails in general are safe, and that the perception is what we have to work on.
When the Morgana Run Trail opened in 2007, trail safety was a primary concern of residents in the adjacent Slavic Village neighborhood.
When we were painting the mural, one of the people that was helping paint the mural, somebody came out with a gun and said, give me your money. And he said, the only things I have is a paintbrush, and so they took his cell phone.
I would be afraid to be back there myself. I can't imagine letting a kid back there right now as it is. It's scary back there.
Using smart trail design and public art, the Slavic Village Neighborhood Development Corporation worked to make the walkers and bicyclists feel safer along the trail.
There was a long stretch of the trail along a parking lot of a strip plaza, and that had a big fence along it when the trail was a railroad. Once we took the fence down and you could see the trail, again, it felt safer to people and it prevented bad guys from hiding.
Since the building's exposed now, we tend to our backyard. When it was just a wall on a railroad track, who cared what it looked like? You couldn't see it.
This mural has been there now over 2 years, and not once have we seen any graffiti. The kids or the community view the mural as their own, so they don't want anybody messing with it. So it becomes like a symbol of pride.
As with everyday safety in this city, trail users are encouraged to take common precautions.
In our neighborhood, 6 square miles, 22,000 people, we don't have any locator phones or emergency phones. There's no need. So why we would need one on a trail doesn't make sense. This trail is just as safe, if not safer, than a street. You need to take your cell phone and you need to take your identification anytime you ride or walk.
In addition to physical improvements, they encourage residents to use the trail through neighborhood outreach.
We knew who these people were who didn't want to use the trail. And so we brought these people into our meeting, for the block club. So we said, look, this happened. What can we as a community do in order to stop this type of behavior?
For my personal safety, yes, I believe that the trail is safe during the daytime hours. And yes, I do allow my children to walk on the trail by themselves.
The kids themselves now, for those parents who didn't want to go down there, the kids said, Dad, Mom, why can't we use it? So then the parents are then forced to go with their kids on the bike. Yeah, and then they find out it's safe after all, and slowly they came back.
A long-awaited section of the Met Branch Trail connecting Northeast DC and downtown opened in May 2010. Since it is used by both neighborhood residents and commuters, it is open 24 hours a day. The trail is lit at night and also has surveillance cameras. Yet even with these preventative measures, the trail was not immune to muggings and attacks.
Police, they are stepping up patrols on the Metropolitan Branch Trail after 4 attacks in the last 30 days.
It was a terrifying attack as this biker rode home along a popular trail.
I think that the city needs to do some things to secure the trail a little bit better.
When these initial incidents occurred, 911 dispatchers were unable to understand where trail users were calling from. News spread quickly through local email lists and websites.
If you don't know how to locate the trail, if you can't tell your officers on the street to get there, then that's a huge issue. It's a public safety issue, and MPD has to continue to address it in a proactive manner.
We had some difficulty at first integrating the trail into our 911 call center because the call center is primarily based on street addresses, and the trail wasn't listed as a street, and of course it doesn't have addresses on it. So what we did was we provided a GIS layer of the trail to our 911 call center and had it integrated as a street into that system, and we're going to be installing new street signs that have the block and the street number as well.
Despite this problem, there were some positive developments as the community reacted to crime.
The sergeant for this area, he was right on top of it. He actually lives in the community, so he knows, you know, the issues around the trail and the dynamics of when a crime does occur.
The Metropolitan Police Department completely encourages citizen patrols, completely encourages, you know, wide usage of the trail. I think that's going to really make it safer for everyone to have as many eyes out there as possible and as many law-abiding citizens using it as possible. Just creates an environment where crime is uncomfortable.
Along the Richmond Greenway, murals, gardens, and other programs make the trail more inviting and help strengthen community bonds.
The way that you prevent the vandalism and the kind of other things that happen, violence and things like that around a site like this, is to have a whole circle of neighbors and community members who live right here, who can watch it at all hours, in all time. And when you get a lot of different volunteers, especially in the beginning from other places, then the people who live right there feel like it's not theirs. And they won't watch over it, and they won't take a stake in it, and they won't care. We made a conscious effort and actually stepped on a few people's toes to say, you know, actually, let's focus on residents first. Let's focus on residents for years. Now, 4 or 5 years down the line, we haven't had any vandalism this year. And I think that's just because of more and more community involvement, lots of different types of people, members of the community, getting involved from youth to elders.
These projects help foster positive behaviors and improve attitudes about the trail and surrounding communities.
You see people biking now.
Yeah.
There's much more of a community feeling along the Greenway. And I think that more eyes, more people present, you have less crime.
I saw a father and 2 kids out here walking through the area over there and picking fava beans and eating strawberries, and it made my day completely, because it was, you know, the community appreciating what we've put together and actually knowing that it belongs to them.
This will be like wonderful, because this is what we need in our community to be a better Richmond. Everybody's talk about killing, about all this and all this stuff. But nobody talk about what we're doing, what we're building, and we have a nice garden. Nobody talk about that. They always keep an eye on, they always judging on the bad thing first. And we're gonna start showing up that we're doing something positive for our community.
As these 3 cities show, there are a variety of ways to effectively address crime and safety issues on urban trails. Working with police, engaging the community, and using lighting and design are just a few ways to help ensure that your trail has a reputation as a safe place.